Today on Scott's Garage, we're going to fix this brick planter. Hello and welcome to Scott's Garage. Today, we're going to put these bricks back in place where they're supposed to go. And this is at the front of our driveway. And this planter does get run into with the cars from time to time, but that's not what happened here. I have had to replace some of the bricks before that we ran into, but this little corner here, it's been raising up over time. I noticed there was a gap in the corner over there, and I suspected that maybe this tree was the culprit. And sure enough, once I removed the bricks and dug down here, there was a big root from this tree coming over here, and it was pushing up that edge of the bricks and kind of made it look a little ugly, and I didn't like it. So I took it apart, took all the bricks off, I cut the root, and then the bricks go along here. You can see this line where the brick goes, and then for this way they kind of float out into space. And before there was a big piece of cement that somebody had put there as a base. I don't really have that, so what I did is I just put a couple of bricks here just to give me something to put, to put my other bricks on. I bet just about everybody out there who owns a house, condo, townhome, whatever, they probably have some brickwork somewhere on their property that's loose, missing, broken, gone, something like that, that needs to be put back on. And a lot of times we just kind of ignore it because we think, well, that's a big job, or that's like a professional needs to do it, or something like that. And it's really not that hard of a job to do. It's something that you can do yourself if you just do a little bit of practice. It does take a little bit of technique, and you can do it yourself. And it's really not that hard. So this is a perfect example. I have 6 bricks, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, and then 4 that go there. You can see the little small ones. What I did is I took the bricks off. I was able to get off all of the old mortar. And let me show you how I did that right now. You can usually remove these bricks pretty easily. It's not that hard. If you're just a little bit careful, just give them a couple of taps, maybe with the rubber hammer, and they should come right off. And then the thing you want to do is you want to get all of that old mortar off. And the way you can do that is, like, if there's a piece of mortar on here, just take this cold chisel here, put it right in between, bump, and that piece of mortar is going to pop right off, usually. Now, one of the things that you can do, if the mortar is in good shape and it's just like completely intact, but it's just popped off, is you can use liquid nails. So a lot of times I'll put liquid nails on there and glue those back on, and I've had great luck with that. So this is something that I might use if the grout was in good shape and I just needed to put it back, is just squirt a little bit of this on there. It really adheres good. It doesn't have to be that clean. You can have a little bit of dirt and gravel and stuff on there and it still sticks. And I've had great luck with this over the years, not coming off. Actually, the grout I've had to repair several times, but with liquid nails, I don't really have to repair it that often. But we're not going to do that in this case because the grout was all kind of crumbling off. So I just removed all that, and we're going to put new grout and put these bricks back. I think one of the most important things that you need when you're doing a job like this is a knee pad. This one's kind of old, but it's still kind of nice. They're very cheap, but really cool. You can get the ones that, that go around your legs. You strap them on, and those are good too. In looking at this, I actually found where I had forgotten to take off some of the mortar. So what I can do is I can kind of show you how that works here. So if you just find it where the brick kind of meets the mortar, and then just like that, and it'll just pop right off. And then what I want to do here is I don't want to keep hammering this way, because what might happen is that I might chip off this edge of the brick. and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to work from this edge right here, like that. See, and then if you want, you can just hammer. And that piece is ready to go. Okay, let's try that on this piece here. Okay, and that piece is ready to go. And so this is going to be the top one. It goes on the top, on the edge here. And this piece is going to go on the bottom on the edge. That's going to go right there. And I think we're just about ready to mix up some mortar. Now there's a bunch of different kinds of mortar. I picked this one for no particular reason. It was not like a big bag, because I know I don't need a whole big bag of it. And I don't want a bunch left over. They have other kinds that are like pre-mixed that, you know, you don't have to add water and all that. I don't really recommend using those. This is super cheap and super easy, and I'll show you how to use it right now. So I'll just open this up, get a bucket. How it basically goes is you have a bucket of water that we're going to use to mix our mortar and to do cleanup. And then we have another bucket here that we're going to mix our mortar with. We have a trowel. We're going to apply it, and then cleanup is this. One of the important things to remember when you're working with any kind of masonry is to wear gloves. See, I don't have any gloves on. Once I start to clean this up, I'm going to go put gloves on because it has lye in it, and it will dry out. The chemical will dry out your hands, and you know, that night you'll be like, "Oh my God, what happened to my hand?" Your hands will be all dried out and weird because of the lye chemical, and you don't want that. So, but for mixing and applying, we can do that without gloves because I don't plan on touching any of it until we're ready for the cleanup. Okay, so we're just going to open up the box, and of course we want to keep this for later because I don't plan on using all of this. Is mix out about as much as I think I'm going to need. And there's like, you know, measurements in terms of how much water it takes for each one of these. And you can measure all the water out, but what I do is I just kind of add water until it looks good. Okay, well I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Probably not, but it'll give us a good start. So we can put that aside, and then we just start adding water. And it doesn't take as much water as you think. It really doesn't take much water. And what I'm looking for is a consistency of like pancake batter. And it's okay if I add too much water. I can just add more of the grout. And one of the things to know is as you're working, this is going to dry out. So what you're going to want to do is add just a little splash of water. Sometimes what I'll do is just get the sponge wet, so I can just squeeze a little bit of water, because you can go from too dry to perfect to too wet in just a few drops. I'm going to add just a little bit more of this to that. But we're getting pretty close. Kind of like pancake batter. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let me reposition the camera so I have a better view of it. And we'll get this going. That looks pretty good. Okay, a couple other things we're going to need. the rubber mallet for pounding, and a level. Smaller one so we can put it there. And when we get to the top, we can switch to the bigger one so it's real nice and level. Okay. And then we're just going to put this here and line it up with the, line it up. And we should be pretty level. There we go. There we go. And it's okay if I kind of cover the back of this with a lot of mortar, because that's fine. That's going to be just fine. Okay. All right. Now we have a level. What I'm doing here is I wipe this kind of with a dirty sponge, so it got some of the glazing on there, and you don't want that to dry. You wanna take that off. That's going to show up later. Okay. I know that doesn't look very good, but it is. It is good. It's good. It's good. It's good. And here we are before paint. Just kind of let that dry maybe till tomorrow, and then we'll paint the brick white and touch up the wall brown right there. And fill in the dirt.
The next morning.
done. You can kind of see the backfill. What I did is I took the mortar and I troweled it along the back of the bricks all the way and filling in all the cracks and kind of making a barrier between the brick and the soil. I don't know why, just seemed like the right thing to do, but I think it looks really nice now that it's done. So I think that about does it. Pretty easy project, no problem. Put the bricks down one day, paint it the next day, and I think it looks great. Filled in the dirt and water this plant a little bit more since it lost kind of one of its big roots. I want to give it a little bit of extra water. But I think that just about does it for Scott's Garage. Hope you enjoyed watching this, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.